What is up, guys? We are back with another video. Man, this is just like the cringiest thing every single time, but it's fun and I enjoy it. So here's the device that we are doing now. We have an iPhone XS. We have that screen. Let's let it heat up. Let's get started. So this device is a preface before we start it. So the same two pentalobe screws on the bottom as every iPhone ever. And then after you take that up, there is a Face ID cable. Do not tear that. The Face ID and the speaker cable are on the same line. You tear your Face ID, first of all, you no longer have Face ID, but you also won't have an ear speaker until you replace that piece. So make sure you do not. And I will show you the proper way to get that off because it is glued, unless the screen's been replaced before, which I don't actually know. But let's get started. Let that phone heat up, and let's do it. Okay, so this device should be heated up enough. It is turned off. And you won't really be able, well, there you go. See right there? That's why they're having the screen replaced. Because there is a crack in the OLED. So they dropped it, their kid dropped it, I should say, after they just got something replaced on the device. But let's do this. Again, same pentalobe as before. That usually doesn't change. Unlike every other thing on iPhones. So we have those screws, and we put that back. Then what you can do, same technique as before. There you go. You can see that line really well right now. So yeah, there's a crack on the OLED, not the screen. Okay, so let's get our razor blade in here. Then after we get our razor blade, then get that pick. So this is, again, just my technique, and this is, I think, one of the better ways to do it without breaking more than what's already broken. Okay. So that snaps up. So the device is actually still on. I feel it vibrating. So see all those cracks on the screen? Yeah, so that's on the OLED. So this device, they just play tricks on you, and so they actually have one Phillips just kind of sitting there in the middle. Sorry, it's zooming into my hand. See? Right there, Phillips. So we gotta get our Phillips bit and take it off. So then this comes off, like so. Put it over in line with your screws. Then we have to get the battery cable off first. So the battery is this one. You can use your fingernail if you have any. I have an okay amount right now. Pull that up. Then this cable is kind of recessed. So we have to take off these three. 1, 2, and then this one. So it does look like this screen's been replaced before, so I won't be able to show you the correct way. But you have these cables, and then you got your Face ID cable. Okay, and so usually there is a bit of glue right here, and so usually putting a dab of alcohol on there will get rid of that pretty quickly. You do not want to tear that. As you can see, the glue used to be there. Okay, let's move our device to the side and unscrew our screen. I think all these are Y-bit. Okay, and just those three cables, or three screws I should say. Then what you have to do from here is you're going to pull up right there. This piece is going to come up. So there's another piece of glue right here. So just put a dab of alcohol on that, and you should be able to lift it up. Okay, so then we have this. I'm going to try to let you guys see, but I don't want to break this chick's phone, so a little bit of alcohol underneath. I use a pick. Then from there you can kind of pry up, and there we are. Move this screen to the side. Then we have our Face ID cable. So now let's get our screen. Okay. So remember, take these both off. Let's zoom back in here. Okay, line it up. So that's on. Let's get our Y bit. I like doing the one next to the top sensor first because it just helps everything else go in a little easier. It's the tiniest screw as well, so it's a pain. Okay, so to just get those three screws on, so we got the one here, we got the one up there, and they got the one over there. Now I'm going to show you something actually pretty sick. So there's a thing called True Tone, and probably all of you know what it is. But True Tone is basically a display mechanism that Apple has that allows the screen to stay completely the same kind of colors and lighting it goes in. So if it's more of an orange light, then it's going to be compensating for that. And so that actually is linked to the screen. So we actually have to clone the screens to the new one. Pretty neat, right? So for this, we have an iPhone XS here. So we're going to plug in this cable. It's going to say connected, read data. It reads the data, copies it to the device. Then we're going to unclip it, get our other screen, push that same cable in the same spot, and then we're going to copy the data. So now it's writing the data to the screen. So I push it down like this so I can plug in that Face ID. Sorry, I can't get a good angle. So the screen did just come on, and I think that's about it. So we just got to put in those final screws. Man, I keep getting interrupted. Okay, so let's put those screws back in, and then we should be all set. So I am doing this the device live, again, because I'm a legend.
And his name is John C.
It would take it would have to be something awful happen. Like I would have to be so scared all of a sudden to like actually move the screen to where I'm gonna rip the cables. Okay, so we have our middle screw was a Phillips, remember? Then we have our other Y bit. Make sure it still turns on. Yep, perfect. So then we're just gonna close up our device. Get our pentalobe screwdriver. And we're all set. iPhone 10 finished. 10s. The difference between the 10 and 10s, just fun fact, the 10 has symmetrical sides of hole screws, or these holes, sorry. So they'll have 6 on each side, where the 10s has 3 and 6. The more you know.
Pretty neat, huh? Okay, now cue the music and that star thing.
I told you, iPhone 10 series was the easiest phone to do. Well, guess what? I wasn't lying. We're going to do an iPhone 6s or 7 or 8 soon enough, and then we'll show you how the screen goes on, and then how that process ends up going down. But for the iPhone 8 and down, 8 Plus and down, you have the top side, the ear speaker, and then also the home button, and then everything from 10 and up. You just have the top section, which is your Face ID and ear speaker. So your biometrics as well as the ear speaker. So it makes it fun, and it makes it way more complicated because that piece is awful to get off. Mine came off easy because it's been done before. Yours probably won't. So if you have a problem with it, you can get a pair of tweezers. If I can get one. Get a pair of tweezers and just kind of pry up on it. Use a lot of heat, use a lot of alcohol, and make your life easy. Now that little piece is separated into 2 little connectors of the black piece. I wish I would have showed you. But there's a lighter piece of black and a darker piece of black. So those are 2 different plastic pieces. So if those separate from each other, the Face ID won't work ever again. And you can get soldering done for it to work, but it probably will never work again. It's usually not worth it to fix it. So, not too hard, not too bad. I may get another job in today. I may finish it with this video, but probably not. Either way, enjoy the day, and I guess I'll see you next week if I don't have another video this week.